Today we're going to be replacing some screen door rollers using the kit that I have on my website, fixingscreens.com. If you've got a screen door with a miter cut corner, that's two rails cut together in a miter like this, very likely you've got 1 1/8 inch corners inside. So we're going to take this door apart, take a look at that, and I'll show you what I mean so that you know how to fix these things. First of all, when these rollers break, when these corners break, usually these two pieces, these rails, will be coming apart in your hands when you take the screen out. But to get the corner out, first of all, make sure the adjusting screw is all the way in. And then use the mallet to tap the corner right out. Now I'm changing these ones aren't broken, but I'm just doing it by way of example. Now, this type of corner you'll find very common in a lot of different screen doors. This dimension here, from here to here, is 1 1/8 inches. And I'd say about 95% of the mitered screen doors in existence use that dimension of corner. Now this is a what I call an MRSA roller. There's different names for it, but to get this out, inside here you have a little nub and two little metal tangs. You have to force them apart to get the roller off. So use a flat blade screwdriver, just stick it in the recess and try and jam it between the tangs, and with a bit of luck, it should just pop right off. Now we're going to get the corner out, so we'll just use the mallet again and tap it out. And you can see the spring is broken, so there's a good reason for changing these anyway. Now we've gone ahead and taken out both the rollers and corners on both sides. When you're doing this, it's always a good idea to change all 4 rollers and corners because if you put it all together and you just make one, 9 times out of 10 you're going to find out one of the other ones break, and you're going to have to end up taking the whole thing apart again. So it's always a good thing to change them all at once. That's why I have 4 rollers and corners in my kit on the website. Now just to show you the rollers I use in my kit, I've got corners which are 1 1/8, but they're thicker metal than these old ones. Still the same adjusting screw, just slightly thicker metal, and thicker tang on the end so that it can resist breaking. The roller, as you can see, is heavier duty. I use a steel ball bearing roller, and the spring that's used in the adjustment is a lot heavier than the one that broke on the old one. So better quality roller and corner assembly all around. Not indestructible, but stronger than this. One thing you want to check before you put the new rollers in, check to see that the corners are nice and tight. See, I can't push them in with my hand. I have to hit them in with the mallet. If you find they're kind of loose, what I do sometimes is I just tap on the sides, on both sides, to try and tighten up, because these things after a while the doors get worn from constant opening and closing, and this gap opens up. So sometimes you can fix it just by tapping on it with the rubber mallet. Okay, so now we'll just put one of these things in just to see how it goes together. Pretty simple. Just drive it in, and you can see, well, you can see that where the tang is inside. That's where the little pivot pin here is going to go. So you're going to end up putting the spring in. See, the spring goes in, hooks underneath the aluminum, and kind of hard to do with the camera. I'm going to try and keep my hands out of the way, and just hook that little pin on. If you can see that happening there, and that's how the roller is held on. And the spring provides the adjustment so the door can adjust as you're pulling it back and forth. Just thought I'd give you a better view of the adjusting screws here. See how that sticks out the frame in the old roller? You have to make sure that that's all the way down so that you can pull the corner apart. So you just have to screw that in a little further. Sometimes they're all the way in, but there's times when they're sticking out like this. Make sure. Now that shouldn't come apart that easy. That's the old one. It's all worn. So, but you can see the roller there. You can see this adjustment screw there that you use to raise the roller up and down. Okay, one more time here. We'll show you how these old rollers come out. Put the new ones aside here. So you take the screwdriver and you're looking for the little metal tang inside. Don't know how well it's easy to see that, but you're pushing the screwdriver blade, the flat blade screwdriver, straight in, and you're trying to spread the tang apart enough so the whole roller comes out. And you can actually do it in very quickly in one move when you get doing a whole pile of them. Now we got all the rollers out and replaced. Reassembly, usually I leave the rollers out before I put the screen back in, because I like to clamp it to the table and the rollers kind of get in the way. But if you're doing if you're repairing the screen on the floor, on the backyard, on your deck or whatever, then you can put the rollers in and put the screen in. It's not such a big deal. But since I have the table, I like to clamp everything down, make sure it's square, and I keep the rollers out for that. So to put it together, just pretty simple. Just tap them back into place and make sure the corner is nice and square. Then rinse and repeat for the 4 different corners. Okay, so now we've got the whole frame back together. We're ready to put the screen in. I've got other videos on my website which show how that is done. But just to recap what we've done here, we've replaced all the corners. These are our old ones. 1 1/8 is a very common size for these rollers. 1 1/8 inches across here to here and here to here. It's about 7/16 of an inch thick from here to here. And my replacement rollers, they're much thicker metal, more heavily constructed. We use steel ball bearing rollers, much better than these horrible nylon things, and heavier duty springs, better lasting, longer lasting assembly, and we'll get the door moving back and forth. Really, really nice. So take a look, order these on my website if you'd like to replace these style of rollers.